If life seemed strange, at least the music still mattered. Jackson's album Bad hit the shelves in 1987 and sold 8 million copies. And in 1988, he bought a 2,700-acre ranch for $28 million, and he called it Neverland.
There's a reason it's called Neverland Valley, you know? His fixation on the I won't grow up, I'm a lost boy, I'm Peter Pan.
With the ranch came the rumors.
Michael began to sort of surround himself with young boys. And much too, I remember the chagrin of people who were working for him.
1991 brought another album, Dangerous, another #1 single, Black or White, and more speculation about Michael's mental state. His skin seemed to be getting lighter. Jackson said it was caused by a congenital skin condition.
But a lot of people think that he has bleached his skin. With Michael Jackson, you never know what the truth is.
He became more reclusive, and in 1993 faced his first allegation of child molestation. Jackson denied the charges, but settled the case for $20 million. Less than a year later, he married rock and roll royalty, Lisa Marie Presley.
It was quite obvious to all of us from the beginning that it was a sham, that it was a publicity stunt, and it was just kind of disgusting and silly.
And it lasted just 2 years. But Jackson would marry again later the same year. This time, the bride was Debbie Rowe, nurse to his dermatologist. She gave him children of his own, Prince Michael, born in 1997, and Paris Michael Catherine, born in 1998. They divorced in 1999, and Jackson got full custody of their kids. But a third child from a surrogate mother would put Jackson back in the headlines when he dangled the newborn from the balcony of a Berlin hotel.
It's sort of like the anti-King Midas, like everything he wants to do just gets screwed up.
And the tabloid tales were starting to take a toll on the music. Michael's 2001 album, Invincible, sold a mere 2.1 million copies. His troubles, quite clearly, were far from over. In 2002, he fought publicly with Sony chairman Tommy Mottola, calling him a racist. A 2003 Vanity Fair article said he was financially strapped and stated that he bought the silence of other potential molestation victims. In January 2004, Michael Jackson stood before a judge and pleaded not guilty to child molestation charges. And even his friends can only guess at what brought the self-proclaimed king of pop to this moment.
No one knows Michael Jackson really but Michael Jackson himself. I once asked Michael here in this house. I looked into his eyes and I said to him, Michael, are you lonely? And he looked up at me. It was like a 10-second stare, and then he said, Uri Geller, I'm a very lonely man. And I think that said it all.
Well, it's a cliche, of course, the lonely man in the spotlight, but it is also true. So is this. Artist dies on the verge of a comeback. Michael Jackson was getting ready for a series of concerts in London, billed as both a comeback and a final encore. Here's Jackson announcing the London appearances a little while ago.
I'll be performing the songs my fans want to hear. This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call. Okay? And I'll see you in July. And I love you. I really do. You have to know that. I love you so much. Really. From the bottom of my heart.
Michael Jackson and his fans in March. At the top of the program, we mentioned the words of family spokesman Brian Oxman, hinting that this was in some ways no surprise because of all the medications that Jackson was taking for a number of injuries. He went on to say, and I quote, "This is a case of abuse of medications, unless some other cause is involved, which I don't know about," unquote. Those are the words of the family spokesman, Brian Oxman. Let's go now to UCLA Medical Center, where Michael Jackson was taken, and where a crowd has gathered, continues to stay, along with Ted Rollins. Ted?
Anderson, you can see that crowd behind me, and it continues to grow. A lot of people coming here to actually listen to Jackson's music and dance outside here. It's a strange mix of emotions, of sadness and celebration about his music. Jackson was brought here to the LA Medical Center, the UCLA Medical Center, from his home. The home that he was renting on the west side of Los Angeles was only a couple of miles from here, about a 6 to 10 minute drive. 911 was called at 12:21 Pacific time this afternoon. According to Jermaine Jackson, the family physician was in the house when Jackson apparently collapsed. They treated him at the house. He arrived here at the medical center at 1:14, and then a team of cardiologists tried to revive him for an hour's time. He was pronounced dead almost an hour later at 2:26 Pacific time. This is what the coroner's office spokesperson said outside of Jackson's house.
We were notified again by the LAPD detectives that Mr. Jackson was brought in by paramedics to the hospital in full cardiac arrest, and then he was later pronounced dead. And at that point, as I said, there's no further medical history till we get there and we review the medical records. And then we will assign this to a coroner investigator, and at that point we will then prepare a report, and then it will be sent to our deputy medical examiner, where the examination will take place the following day.
Jackson's body has been taken from the UCLA Medical Center. An autopsy is scheduled to take place tomorrow morning. Results of that autopsy are expected as early as tomorrow afternoon. Anderson.
Ted Rollins reporting. Ted, we heard from somebody from the robbery homicide unit of the LAPD, and that raised a lot of people's eyebrows. They said that is entirely just routine, correct?
Well, routine when you're dealing with somebody like Michael Jackson, that they're going to do a full investigation. But you heard the allegations from the former family lawyer, Brian Oxman, saying that there could be prescription medication involved in here. So there is going to be undoubtedly a full investigation into the death of Michael Jackson. At this point, the cause of death, cardiac arrest. But obviously, after the autopsy and after this investigation, we'll know if there's more to the story. All right.